In this lesson, I will show you how to create simple charts. With charts, you can display data in a way that will be easier for a human to understand. It's very different to see numbers listed on a worksheet and to see a chart. Often a well-made chart can provide significant information for those who know how to read it correctly. To create a chart, I first need to select the data I will display. It's not mandatory to select all the data of an area. I can choose only a part. Here I will select, for example, from cell A1 to F2. This way I'm interested in how the revenue in January changes with each passing year. Now that I have selected the data, I will go to the Insert tab, and from the Charts palette I can choose the type of charts I want to create. I want to create, for example, a column chart, so I will open the tool for the available column and bar charts. If I hover the mouse over a chart type for a while, I can see its name, and I can also see a live preview of the chart on the worksheet. This is what the chart will look like if I choose that chart type that I'm right now on. The difference between a column chart and a bar chart is that in bar charts the data is presented horizontally, while in columns it is presented vertically. If you choose to continue with my advanced level lessons in Excel, you will see why each different type of chart exists, and you will also learn which is the proper chart type depending on the data you want to display. Let's say now that I want to create a 3D clustered column, so I will go to the category for 3D column charts and leave the mouse on the first one, so I see the related label and the preview appears in the worksheet. I will click to select it, and now the chart has been created and is inside the worksheet. I will now move the mouse over the first column of the chart. The label that appears gives me information about what I see in the column. It's about the January series for the year 2023, and the value represented is 554 euros. So this column displays the value in cell B2. Also see how easy it is to notice something through the chart that would have been harder to realize just by looking at the data. It's easy to spot that for some reason the revenue of January 2026 is much lower than generally the revenue for this month. This could be a trigger to think about what happened at that year and resulted in this outcome. Okay, I can certainly see it by looking at the data in line 2, but through the chart it's so clear that it is impossible to miss. I will click on the chart, and I want you to notice the extra tabs in the ribbon that appeared. These tabs contain tools exclusively for the chart. I will click outside the chart, so the chart now is not selected and these tabs have disappeared. The chart itself is an object that has many properties I can set. That's why when I click to select it, it brings up these additional tabs which contain the tools I need. Now let's try to create a pie chart that will represent the data for April. I will click outside the chart and first select cells A1 to F1. Now I will hold down the control key on the keyboard. I will select cells A5 to F5 with control pressed, and now I will release control. From the Insert tab, I will open the tool for pie charts and select the 2D pie chart. The previous chart wasn't deleted, it's just below the new one. I will go to an empty space on the edge of the chart, click and drag with the mouse to move it. I will talk more about how to move a chart in a future lesson. There are a few things you should be aware of because it can be a bit tricky. Now I want to create a chart that includes more data. I will click outside the chart and select from A1 to F6. And now I will go to the Insert tab, open the line charts, and here I will select the line with markers chart. In this chart, I can simultaneously see the revenue evolution per year for the months from January to May. With this chart selected, I will press delete on the keyboard to delete it. Let me show you now that charts are made of many different areas. I will move the mouse to an empty spot of the column chart and I will leave it there for a while. Notice that the label chart area appeared. Now I will go inside the chart between the lines, and here the label tells me it's the back wall. I will go over the numbers that are vertical, and here it tells me it's the vertical axis. It's important to understand that a chart consists of many areas, of many elements, it's the same thing, and one way to identify a specific area is by moving the mouse over it. I will click here on the area of the vertical axis, and now I have selected the vertical axis. I will click on a column, and now I have selected the entire series of these columns. I will make a second click on the same column, and now I have selected only that specific column. Be careful when you want to select just one column of a series. Do not double click, but make two clicks one after the other like I did here. Generally, I can select all the separate elements of the chart and then apply formatting to them. Even better, I can make the selection using another way, which is much easier. I will go to the Format tab and the current selection palette. The list here is called Chart Elements and shows that I am at point 2027 of the January series right now. This is the selected area of the chart right now. I will open this list, and from here I can see all the areas, all the elements of the chart. So if I want to select, for example, the plot area, I will click once and see in the chart that this area was selected. Be aware that each different type of chart has different areas. I will click on the pie chart to select it. I will open the list of chart elements again and see now that the list is different. I will select, for example, the legend. So notice that the legend area has been selected in the pie chart. It's important to be able to select the various areas of charts because in the next lesson you will see that you can make many formatting changes. In order to format an area, you first need to select it. That's why I'm spending all this time showing you how to select chart areas, chart elements. However, you can also use ready-made formats that can change the appearance of a chart with a single click. I will go to the Chart Design tab, and here in the Chart Styles palette there are some ready-made styles. I will go and click on Style 4, for example, so my chart takes on a different look. I will open the list of chart styles again and select Style 12 this time. With styles, I can use ready-made formatting options and my chart can immediately look more attractive. Besides styles, I can also change the layout of the chart. In the Chart Layouts palette, I will open the Quick Layout button and select Layout to 2, for example. Now see that a percentage label appears on each slice of the pie chart, while the legend is at the top of the chart and not at the bottom as it was before. The layouts and the styles are different for each different type of chart. I will click on the column chart and in the Chart Styles palette, I will locate style 3 here and select it. I will open the Quick Layout tool and select, for example, the layout 2 for here. I will show you in the following lessons that you can format each area separately, but styles and layouts are an easy way to get an impressive result immediately. One last thing for this lesson, specifically for pie charts, you can make the pie chart slices have a distance between them. This is called pie explosion. I will click on the pie chart, and from the Format tab I will open the list of chart areas and select the April series. Now I will click the Format Selection tool, and in the setting for pie explosion I will type the number 20 and press enter. Notice now that the pie slices have some distance between them. That's called pie explosion. I want to show you another way, for example, in fact two other ways to format an element of a chart. I will dive deeper into this in the next lesson, but it's important, so I will mention it here too as an introduction. I will close the panel with the X at the right top right corner, and now I will right click on a slice of the pie on the area on the element of the chart that I want to format, and I will select Format Data Series. So I again reach the same panel. I will close the panel again, and this time I will double click on the slice. So to display the formatting options of an area, I either select the area from the list of chart areas and then after selecting the area of interest, I press the Format Selection button, or I right-click on the chart area, on the chart element of interest, and choose its formatting option. Or I just double-click on the area, and the panel opens, and I can make the formatting I want. I know this is a lot, and you might not remember everything exactly. In the following lessons, I will use all these tools again and again, so I will explain them even deeper. It's important to understand that there is a specific way to create a chart and format its element. It works for every type of chart and every type of element of a chart. That's all for this lesson. Thank you for watching.